Hey, y'all. Welcome to the Osha Cerese Show. Yes, welcome to the Osha Cerese Show, your midday reset, your daily dose of real talk, healing, and intentional growth, where we're going to be taking what's happening in culture and turning it into lessons for real life. This is where healing meets headlines and alchemy turns gossip into growth. And yes, I'm reading my notes because this is episode 1. This is the pilot episode. And I want to make sure I get everything right. So, welcome. I'm super excited. I'm like super excited. I started the day off in prayer and meditation, and I've been working on this show for a while. I've been working on the concept, I've been working on what it is I want to show up with, how I want to show up. And I'm going to just tell y'all this. First of all, happy February. Happy 2025. Happy February. I feel really good about today. I feel really good about this month. The energy of this month, when I woke up today, I just felt like it's about to be an amazing month. And the rest of the year is about to be amazing. I know we're going through a lot in the world, in this country, and all of that. But we have to do what we can do individually and together as community to stay in a high vibrational space and not let these folks get us in their low vibrational energy that they want us to be in collectively, individually, universally. So happy February and happy Black History Month. Happy birthday to my best friend TJ. I hope you're somewhere having an amazing time. Turn up. This is your year, 39, right on time. I don't know if that's the mantra, but that's the one I'm going to give to you. And happy birthday to one of my favorite clients. She knows who she is. I'm not going to say her name out loud. I had to turn my calendar around too because I have client names on there too. And today is the first day of a juice and raw cleanse that me and my mom are doing together. And this is my first treat of the day. Some green juice, some green goddess juice. Let me taste. Cheers. I think I've let it sit too long. It's starting to separate, but it's good. This is green apples, cucumbers, celery, lime, ginger. Am I missing anything? Nope. Green apples, celery, lemons, cucumbers, and ginger. Cheers to good health. So, let me just get y'all together. First of all, again, like I mentioned, this is February. This is Black History Month. I don't know if you know, but my platform is all about healing, self-discovery, self-love, intentional dating. So when you see certain things, of course, I share lifestyle, I share vlogs, day in the life, I share what I'm doing, I share that I'm vegan, I share some plant-based recipes, I share when I travel. All of that is a part of my platform too, but the pillars are healing, self-discovery, intentional dating. And this show is going to be incorporating that as well. So if you're tuning in to anything that I've offered before for the first time, welcome. Again, this show is all about self-love, healing, and intentional dating. We're going to be breaking down trending topics and pulling the real lessons from them and making sure you walk away with something that you can actually apply to your life and your growth. And of course, I'll be sharing some of the things that I offer, such as my courses, my one-on-one coaching, my journal, and events that I have coming up. If you are in the Atlanta area and you want to be a part of some of the things that I have, I'm going to let you know how you can do that. So this is our soft launch. I'm going to be here today and tomorrow doing the show just as, as it's supposed to be done. But officially it's going to kick off on Monday because it's going to be like the right time. It's going to be like a lunchtime thing. So if you are, if you work for somebody, you can tune in while you're on your lunch break, sit there and tune in. If you're self-employed, you can take this time as a break, as a reset, as a time to decompress and just listen to some, good conversation. So again, grab your lunch, take a breath, do what you need to do, but let's tune in together. Let's hold space for each other. Welcome again to the Osha Cerese Show. I'm so excited. So, since this is Black History Month, I do want to shine a light on Black love in history. And I wanted to come with a fact, like a little history of a famous Black couple. And I decided that on day one, I just want to remind us, because a lot of the platforms that I've created, such as Connections and Conversations, which is my show as well, that's going to be weekly, not daily like this one. That show is about bridging the gap between men and women, specifically Black men and women. So on today, I just wanted to remind y'all that we were on that ship, those ships together. Black men and Black women were shackled together. Black men and Black women had to be in that slave trade together. Black men and Black women were both separated from each other, from families, seeing horrible things happening, being tortured, being colonized, being forced to do the hard work and hard labor, being taken advantage of in every way possible. We were doing that together. So when you start thinking about battle of the sexes and men versus women and who ain't doing this and who ain't doing that, and we talking and we're bumping heads with each other, like, I get it. We're not going to always agree. We do think differently. We, live different lifestyles. We have all been raised in different households, so we're not going to always agree. But can we have the love and respect and honor for each other? Can we remember that our ancestors were together going through the same things? And to this day, we're still going through similar things, if not the same thing. So we need to remember that, and remember to be respectful of each other, even if we don't agree with each other all the time. So that is my Black history message for you for today in Black love. Okay. And I just want to let y'all know as well, I'm streaming on Instagram too right now. But just to let you know, this is not going to be streamed on Instagram every day. I'm going to give y'all a few episodes live on Instagram. But if you want to see this show, if you want to participate, if you want me to see your comments, you're going to have to come on over to YouTube. You need to subscribe, because I know I hadn't been that consistent over the years since I started this channel. Because, if you remember, I started on YouTube maybe in 2016, 2017 with my other page, Damn Near Vegan. I was one of the original girlies getting dressed up. I had my cooking show showing y'all vegan and semi-pescatarian recipes back then. And I still post on Damn Near Vegan page as well every now and then. But this page I started to really focus on the healing, self-love, intentional dating, vlogs, reviews. So I want y'all to show this page love on YouTube at Osha Cerese. So youtube.com/@Osha Cerese. I need y'all to come subscribe. This is where the Osha Cerese Show is going to be streamed daily. This is where Connections and Conversation is going to be weekly. I'll let y'all know what days. I'm thinking Tuesday nights, but we gonna see, because I do have a busy schedule. So I'm just trying to make sure that everything is aligning perfectly. And then I have some other great things here on the YouTube channel. So you come over here, you'll see reviews. I have food reviews. I have show reviews. Right now I'm reviewing the show Harlem, which is on Prime Video. And, I'm getting into the character breakdown, talking about each episode and pulling some lessons from that as well. So make sure you come on over, regardless of where you are watching this. If you're on YouTube and you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that now. If you are on Instagram, make sure you follow me or come on over. The link is in my bio. That makes it easier for you. But if you're on YouTube or if you're on the internet, it's youtube.com/@Osha Cerese. The @ sign, not the word. So today I kind of wanted to get into a couple of different couples, because the theme of February is going to be Black love, y'all. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. I don't want to just highlight the gossip that is bad. Even though I ain't gonna say bad, but somewhat negative. But we gonna talk about that too. So I want to always highlight some good Black love, healthy Black love that's in the news as well. So today we're going to be talking about Morris Chestnut and his wife Pam. They've been together for 28 years. And y'all know, for a Hollywood relationship, that's a long time. For any relationship, like who y'all know that's under 60 right now that's been married for almost 30 years. It's getting rare, unfortunately. So they met in the club and Tiny Lister, aka Debo from Friday, introduced them to each other. And he said that something that stood out to him was that she was a challenge, because when he asked Tiny Lister about her, as Tiny was pointing out other women he should talk to, he's like, what about her? And he's like, oh, no, she a tease. So that actually attracted him to her. And we also, he also talked about the longevity in their relationship has, he can contribute some of that to the fact that they communicate without disrespect. And I'll play a clip in a minute, but I'm just giving you a preview of what we're going to be talking about. And, you know, communication is so important in relationships, romantic or not. So we're going to break down that as well. Let me sip some of my green juice, y'all. Again, I'm on a 7-day, starting out 7-day juice cleanse and raw vegan cleanse. That's good. I had to get some gulps because this is literally the first thing I'm eating or consuming today. So forgive me. But so again, like I was saying, communication is important, whether it's romantic, platonic, friendships, whatever. And respect has to be there. So today I want y'all to think about, how do you communicate when things get tough? Just think about this. And do you shut down, lash out, work through it? Is it with mutual respect? Do you zone out, tune out, walk out, silent treatment? What's your style of communication when you get upset? And we're going to be also talking about a little mess that I just saw. I actually came on here with the intention of talking about a totally different subject, but when I opened my phone, this particular subject came up, or post came up. So I said, you know what, I want to talk about that. So I'll let you know what that topic is in a minute. So we're going to get into this culture clinic. We're talking about what's going on in celebrity news, and we are pulling out the lessons that we can learn, or the green flags and the red flags, or just the little gems. So let me see if I can bring this up. Y'all gonna have to tell me if you're watching on Instagram or YouTube. I can see your comments, so please let me know if the sound is messed up. See, I didn't push the wrong button already. Let me see if I could fix it. Mind you, I am working with this app that I don't have much experience with, so bear with me, y'all. Okay, I think I got it back. Give me 1 second. Let me see if it changed. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm just trying to make sure I can upload this without messing up my screen. And I want to be able to see y'all comments, and I didn't push something that took it away. Hold on. This is when my auntie era is showing. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna have to flip it. Okay. So again, what I was saying is y'all gonna have to tell me if, hey, y'all gonna have to tell me if the audio is messed up when I upload these clips. So tell me in the comments and I will be able to know because I'm working with two different devices. So if there is an echo or anything like that, just let me know. So I wanted to play a little bit of this clip of Morris Chestnut talking about his relationship with his wife. Welcome to the Osha Cerese Show if you're just joining. And let's see here. Okay. So this is the part where I had to figure out. Okay. Hold on, y'all. Okay. We gonna figure out this sound. Hold on. Okay, so I was trying to see if I could upload these videos and pictures, but I'm gonna just have to tell y'all about it because for whatever reason, when I try to get on my computer, that's the only that's the only way that I can actually upload the images and the videos that I wanted to upload with the computer, but I'm having some technical difficulties, so I'm just have to tell y'all about it. The show must go on. So let me see if there's any comments over here. For whatever reason, I cannot see them with my camera facing this way. But let me see. This is exactly why I decided to do my pilot on the weekend, so that by Monday, all the kinks will be out. Thank you for your patience if y'all are watching still. And if you have any questions or comments so far, please put them in the chat. I'm trying to figure out why it won't let me have this bar right here. Okay. This is what we're going to do. We're going to keep it moving. And we're going to do it just like this. So, back to what I was saying. Morris Chestnut was on the Drew Barrymore show. And he said that she was asking him how did he meet his wife. And he told her that he met her at a club. And Drew Barrymore's response was something like, oh, so there's hope for the rest of us. Something like that. Because, you know, sometimes people will judge you or say that it's not likely that you will find the love of your life at a club. But Tiny Lister, aka Debo from Friday, saw him. They were cool. R.I.P. Tiny Lister. I have a picture with him and my mother, and I have a picture with him and my aunt. And my mom met him, and that's a story that I'll let her tell one day. Funny. But he was friends with Morris Chestnut. And when Morris Chestnut was there in the club, he was like Tiny was telling him, you know, try to talk to that girl, talk to that girl. And Morris Chestnut was like, well, what about her right there? And Tiny Lister was like, oh no, she's a tease. So Morris Chestnut was actually intrigued by that. He liked the fact that she was a challenge. And so he decided to pursue her. So I wanted to talk about those two things first. Do you feel like there is a taboo per se as far as where you meet someone? If you meet somebody in the club, a lot of us millennials not really in the club like that, but if you are in the club, a lounge or something to that nature, if you meet somebody there, do you take them seriously? And I would just say this, story time. I don't go to the club often. At my big age of 36, I'm still young. I'm not saying that I'm old, but it ain't given what it was given in the 20s. I'm not, you know, I wasn't that much of a club hopper then, but it has been pulled all the way back. And I would say I went to a club last month or the month before, I think in December, with my homegirls, two of my homegirls. And it had been a while since I've been in the club because I'm thinking, okay, this is where everybody is meeting. Because it was a lot of guys that approached me and asked for my number. A lot of times, you know, it starts off as a dance or come over here, let me get you a drink. And then folks want to be on your neck for the rest of the club experience. Baby, this ain't that. Get the drink, cheers. Or, you know, dance. Okay, that's cool. It's popping in here. The music is good. Like, it might have just been a dance. I think maybe I was not really expecting it to be that much energy, that much male attention and people trying to holler. Because it's been a while, I guess. But do you take it seriously when you meet people out in the club, or do you just keep it as a dance and that's it? Now, I'm not gonna lie. I gave my number out to about 4, 5, maybe 4 guys. And everybody was talking a big game in the club. The first guy, he had invited us to his section, gave us some drinks. Really, it was not what we drink. None of us are big drinkers, but I think we all prefer tequila. He offered us vodka. We accepted it, but headaches, hangovers, it was just not good. Let me sip some of my green juice, y'all. Wait a minute. He and I danced. I love to dance. And I didn't really pay that much attention to him at the time. It's dark, it's a club, whatever. All I remember is him saying in my ear, "Do you date guys? Would you ever date guys my size?" And so as soon as he said that, it made me look back, and I think I did have to look down. I had on heels. I'm 5'9.5" without heels. With heels, those heels that I had on, I was probably maybe 6'2.5". So I don't know how tall he was, but he was smaller than me. And I'm thinking, he's caught up in the moment. We're dancing, the music is live. He's drinking, whatever. Gave him my number, no big deal. He turned out to be a little cuckoo. We texted back and forth a couple times. I think we talked on the phone once. And I'm not gonna lie, I got in my little mood, especially the fact that it's wintertime. Sometimes I don't feel like freaking talking. Sometimes I don't feel like talking. Sometimes I don't feel like listening, and I don't answer my phone or I don't respond to text. So I understand, that that's not always accepted by people. And for a man that's trying to pursue you, that's going to be a turnoff. But at the time, it's not like I was ignoring him for days at a time, but it was just like I wasn't responding right away to his text, and a couple of times I didn't answer. So then he kind of went off on me, like, why would you even give a ninja your number if you wasn't going to respond and all that? So I was just like, you know what? I don't have the energy for this because I'm not even interested. So, and that's a whole nother story, because a lot of men think that just because a woman gives you her number, that means she's interested. And sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes it's because we don't want to be bothered with the back and forth. We don't want to have to make up a lie. Some people can't handle you saying that you're not interested. They don't even accept that you say you have a man. So a lot of us just give the number and, see how we feel about it later. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't like that. But unfortunately, women are not always safe to be able to just say no. So that was that. Then there was another situation where, okay. So I don't know. I don't think I danced with this guy. I think he just saw me. I'm trying to see how this went. Did I dance with him? I don't know. He came up to me in the club. I believe it was just on some vibing out. He gave me some energy that I liked. He was attractive, and we exchanged numbers. I'm minding my own business. I'm in the club with my homegirls. We having a good time, turning up. And then a few moments later, it was not a few moments, but it was probably like an hour later, another guy had approached me. Mind you, I'm getting text messages from different numbers. One of them is saying, come back to the section, or come over here, come sit with me, with the crazy dude. I ain't gonna say crazy, but with the dude that flipped, low-key crashed out. I think he was saying stuff. The red flags were already waving while we were still in the club. He was saying stuff like, I'm trying to see if you are worth it and all this stuff. Like, who are you? I don't even know what are you talking about? He was doing too much already. So he's texting, and then I was getting the text from another number that said, come to the section and have a drink. So I'm assuming it was him too, because I'm tipsy. I'm not paying attention that it's two different numbers, whatever. So this other guy approached me. I wasn't really interested in him like that, but he was cool. And he was like, come over, you and your friends come over and have drinks with us. And he was like telling me he was interested, or showing me he was interested. Rewind back to the dude that I was kind of feeling. He was telling me that he wanted to take me out to eat the next day. Like, he was applying pressure. How about when we get over to the section from this guy that just invited us to the section? It's the section of the guy that's invited me to the damn to a dinner date for the next day. So I'm like, oh shit. Now I'm feeling awkward. So instead of me sitting there like awkward black girl that I am, I just said something. I was like, that guy right there, we already have talked. I'm just letting you know we've already exchanged numbers. And he's like, oh yeah, that's my brother. And I'm like, awkward. Totally awkward. And he was just like, still really letting me know, like, I don't really care. Like, I'm interested in you. So I tell the brother that I've already exchanged numbers with, like, yeah, your brother is the one that invited me over here. He was like, well, you grown, we all grown. You got to make that decision for yourself. And I was like, well, since you got to me first, like, it was cool. It was cool. But let's just say I did. We chatted a couple of times after that, and nothing came about it. He was a little younger than me, maybe a lot younger. He might have been in his late 20s. I'm 36. He probably was like 29, maybe 30. And then there was a couple of other people that see me in the club. I think I exchanged numbers with a couple of other folks. It went nowhere. But I'm saying all this to say, do y'all take it seriously when you meet people in the club, or is it more of that? Because I'm gonna be honest, it's been a while since I've been to a club with people in my age group, like from maybe late 20s to early 40s. I've been partying with the cat daddies and the damn jive turkeys. I'd be going out sometimes with my mom, and she is 58. The people that be at the clubs that she go to are mid to late 40s to probably damn near 80 something. I don't know. But I like them clubs because the music is good. The drinks are cheap if I want to have a drink. They usually don't have vegan options on the menu, but I might be able to get a salad, some fries. The food's cheap. The vibes are good. The people like to dance. People are going to offer you drinks. They're going to, interact. And you ain't got to worry about ducking and dodging no fists and no bullets. So I actually don't mind partying with the old heads. Now, there is a club that is more like grown and sexy, my age, maybe more so mid 30s to mid to late 40s, which is Monticello's in Marietta. And I'm going to blast them right now because I feel like they have the potential to be a really great establishment. It's always good music in there. The DJs are always good. They have options where you can have, you have a side where there's like spoken word or open mic or karaoke that's a little bit more laid back. It's more of like a restaurant vibe. There's a bar over there. They have a patio with a bar. You sit out there and chill. They have a cigar corridor, whatever they call it, for the cigar smokers. And they have a club area where it's, you have your sections, people smoking hookah. There's a stage. There's usually concerts there once a week. And there's a big dance floor. And I like it because it's hit or miss with the crowd, but it's usually that 35 to mid 40s range. But people dance, which I like that too. And I like any club where people still dance, where it's not just focused on the sections and being up in there looking at folks in sections or people in the sections looking at the people out of the sections. But the thing about Monticello's is they be nickel and diming. You gotta pay. You've been to pay $50 or $60 before you even get in, because you gotta pay for valet. You could park somewhere far as hell if you choose to do that and walk. But who want to do that? You're gonna pay for valet. You're gonna pay to get in. If you get there where it's say free before such and such, they probably holding the line. You go to the bathroom, the restaurant valet gonna make sure she get her tip. You get a drink. You can't sit down unless you got a reserved seat. So wear some comfortable shoes. If you're not ordering hookah or you're not ordering food, they're not gonna let your ass sit down if you don't have a section. And even if you do, you probably gonna have to go to the other side of the section. They harass you if you sit down, even if it's empty. If it has a reserve sign, they're not gonna let you sit down. So again, it has the potential to be a great spot, and I've had some good times there. But the customer service, trash. The nickel and diming, over the top. And that's what I'm gonna say about that. But my experience at that type of club, I've been approached there as well. And maybe I've taken the approaches a little bit more seriously because it's a growner crowd. But what are your thoughts about that? And then another thing that Morris Chestnut said was that his woman was a challenge. And I hear this all the time, that men want to be on the hunt. They want to be the one chasing. They like the art of pursuit. So, ladies, are you making it easy for the men to get with you, or giving them a little challenge, giving them a little run for their money? How is that working out for you? It seems as if they like, I think it boils down to a woman that has certain standards for herself, that is not so eager or desperate or operating out of the spirit of desperation, because they could smell that, they could sense that. Not that they don't want to know or receive that you like them, or for you to give them the runaround just for uh for fun's sake. But I think just not being so easily moved, and this kind of ties into the next celebrity couple that I'm going to talk about, so I'm going to wait on the rest of this conversation for that. But let me know what you think about that. Men, are you attracted to women that create somewhat of a challenge for you when it comes to pursuit? And I'll probably talk more about it next week, but Dear Future Wifey just dropped an episode with this Christian comedian named Whitney Moss. She's married now. I think it was Whitney Davis, but she's a Moss now. And they talked about her husband's pursuit of her, and he definitely had to shoot his shot more than once before she decided to give him a chance. And a lot of people are commending him for not giving up and being persistent. But I honestly feel like there's a difference between, I think attraction comes into play when it comes to whether it feels like persistence or harassment. If the attraction is not there at all, and somebody is literally having a conversation with themselves in your DMs, it becomes annoying. But I can see the flattery of a man not giving up and seeing that there's potential with that woman, and knowing that they would be compatible, and not being pushy and obsessive, but just sprinkling in a little bit of pursuit. And I think that's what he did. I think he had, I think he did well because he was also an attractive man, and they had similar morals and values. And he didn't do too much. He wasn't literally having a full conversation by himself where you open up the DMs and it's all gray. I think that he did a good job with like one message here, a couple months down the line. So we'll get into that story a little bit more next week. The Feel Free Club says, the club scene hasn't been hitting. I'm thinking about going to a kickback tonight. It's around your way. Okay. Okay, let me know. Yes, and I agree. The club scene hasn't been hitting, which is why I haven't been going, because I love dancing. I love meeting new people and enjoying a vibe and all of that. But I prefer a good kickback. I ain't gonna lie. I prefer a good kickback, snacks, fun, laughter, games, good music, dancing, vibing, whatever it is you do, smoke, whatever. I think that that's good too. Sometimes it can limit the range of people you can meet, unless it's like one of those things where everybody's inviting a friend, and it's maybe a group that you haven't hung out with before. So there's opportunity to meet maybe a better quality of people versus quantity. So that's, I definitely agree. But y'all let me know what y'all think about meeting people in certain places, because everybody talks about meeting somebody at the grocery store, but you rarely hear people talking about they met at the club. And I think another pet peeve of mine too, y'all, being in the club. Okay, whether I'm attracted to you or not, maybe let me rewind that, because maybe it makes a difference. Let me reel it back and be real. When I'm not attracted to you, you will know, because because you can feel the energy and you can read my body language, because I can't hide it, honestly. I don't understand why people can't pick it up, but maybe that's just my gift. But I've been approached in the club. The music is sky high, to the point that when I leave, my ears are ringing. There's absolutely no way I want to stand here in the middle of the dance floor when I'm just minding my business and you've approached me, and I've already can tell that I'm not interested, but I'm not going to be unkind. at first. And you're trying to have a full conversation with me, like, not like, you having a good time? Yeah or no, you're like, so where are you from? Have you ever been here before? What part of town you live in? And most of the time, the people that want to have these type of conversations, because they have to be loud in your ear, their breath don't be smelling fresh. So not only do I don't want to sit here and listen to you yell, your breath is stinking, and then I don't want to yell. I don't want to be, I'm from that. No, I just be like, here, take my number. We'll talk about it later. And that's how a lot of people be getting my number that shouldn't have it too. But there was another time I was in Houston. This was back in 2017, I think. It had been like 8 months since I had got out this toxic ass situationship. And I had been doing a lot of healing work because that situationship really like catapulted me into my healing journey, like for sure. So I had really been doing some work. I was feeling like, feeling some loneliness and some sadness around not having male energy and all of that. But it just wasn't happening the way I wanted it to. And I didn't want to be operating out of the spirit of desperation at all. So I was just like, you know what? I ain't worried about that. Whenever it's for me, it's for me. I'm going to focus on me. I had a birthday that July 26th, and I had booked a trip to Houston the first week of August. My cousin lived out there at the time. And I'm like, I'm going to Houston. I'm going to have me a good time. I ain't worried about no relationship right now. So we went out one night looking real cute too. Looking real cute. The pictures are still on my Instagram, y'all. Instagram.com/Osha Cerese. OSHACERESE is right there. If you scroll down to this time frame, you will see. I think I had been working out around this time. I was looking good. And we had us a good time. The following night, my homeboy had came up from San Antonio to meet us. And he wanted to go out. We low-key didn't feel like going out because we had went out the night before. But we was like, okay, he done came all this way. So me and my cousin, we getting ready. We taking so long. He done fell asleep in the living room. We making videos, modeling and stuff. Those videos are still on my page too. Just taking our nice little time. So we decided, in Houston, it's always something to do. So it's not like we couldn't still go out. So we went to an after-hour spot. It was like a Nigerian spot. So when I tell you, as soon as we walked in, we're standing by the bar, just scoping the scene and trying to see where we're going to go. Before I could even finish scoping the scene, I'm being swept away by my hand, being pulled away from my cousin and my homeboy. And, normally if you look up and you see somebody, normally if somebody grabs your hand in the club, you're going to be like, what the hell are you doing? Especially if you look up and you're not attracted to them. When I looked up, I said, damn, in my head. But I'm just like, I'm blushing immediately. This 6'4", handsome, he's a little lighter than caramel complected. Not high yellow, but golden skin, locks, muscles, fine ass man was standing there holding my hand, telling me, I want you to come join me and my friends in our section, and spend the evening with me. And I'm like, well, I'm here with my cousin and my homeboy. He's like, that's fine, they can come too. So we go to the section. He like, get whatever you want. He got us our own bottle. He got us our own hookah. Food was coming. Like, it was a vibe. We instantly had a connection, literally in the club, dancing. He's like, hold my phone. We're literally standing there, forehead to forehead, third eye to third eye, dancing, vibing, talking. And at that point, I don't even mind the talking loud and getting to know each other because it's an instant connection. So that's why I say I can't really say that it's annoying to me when people try to get to know me in the club, because it just depends on if you got it like that. But I will say, under normal circumstances, I don't want to have no full loud ass conversation over no music. Like, let's speak to each other, If the feeling is mutual, exchange numbers, we'll talk outside of the club. That was just a little story I wanted to add in there. So the second couple that I wanted to talk about, celebrity, I wanted to show y'all the picture, but I got to work out the technical difficulties and get right, and that's coming soon. But Jacquees, the R&B king of R&B of his generation, as he self-proclaimed, and no Jacquees slander will be tolerated, because I like me some Jacquees. Like, you can get vibe out on some Jacquees. His voice is not for everybody. He's not the best singer, but his songs are a vibe. And he could, with a lot of intensive vocal training, he maybe could be like a son of Donnell Jones-ish. I know somebody gonna have something to say about that. But I think Donnell Jones does write for him or produce for him sometimes. I don't know. Anyway, you know, Jacquees was with the rapper / singer Dreezy for a long time, but he's been with Deondra, I think it's Deondra Sanders, the daughter of Deion Sanders, for a little while now. Their whole relationship started out with drama. Started out with, I think it was like a couple of little vacay pictures that leaked, or you could tell that they was on the same vacation, and then it was like this big thing with Dreezy. She's the one that revealed that Deondra was pregnant. She showed that Jacquees was still trying to talk to her, talking about, oh, just because I got a baby on the way, that don't make me have, that doesn't mean me and her are family. Like, he really embarrassed Deondra, but they worked it out. They just had their little boy Snow, and they're engaged now. Some people say that he proposed to her simply so she can give their baby his last name, because she already made it perfectly clear that if she wasn't married, her baby was going to be a Sanders. So anyway, I had something completely different that I wanted to talk about today, but when I opened up social media, it was a Shade Room post, and right now I guess Jacquees and Dej Loaf are working on another collaboration. They did a mixtape before. I don't know if they're working on another mixtape or an album together, but they got something going on. And it was a promo photo of the two of them. Dej Loaf looking good, looking like Kelly Rowland. Jacquees looking, nice. It was a nice photo. Two of them. So I guess somebody commented and said, let me read it verbatim so I won't be messing up nobody's captions. Somebody had said, why baby mama ain't present? She be in every other pic. So Deondra, I called her Deondra, I guess it's Deondra. Deondra says, because I wasn't allowed, quote unquote, and she has laughing her ass off. So my thing is, I don't know if it was a joke for real, because people put LOLs and LMFAOs behind what they really mean. But let's just say it wasn't a joke. Let's just say she meant that shit. And my question would be, why do you think it's necessary for you to be involved in a shoot that they're promoting, a project that they're doing? Is it an insecurity about him being with a woman, a beautiful woman? Is it an insecurity about him working with a woman? Is it just you ain't got nothing else going on that you want to be included in everything that he does? What is the root thing? And maybe it was just a joke, but let's just say it wasn't. So do you trust your partner to work with the opposite sex without you being present? There's a lot of conversation around men and women not being able to be just friends, men and women not being able to be professional together. Do you have a problem with your man or your woman working with the opposite sex if they have to work closely? In their case, they have to work long hours in the studio. They have to write songs that's an intimate process. I don't know if you've ever been in the studio before, but there's an energy. Like, I just got chills just thinking about the times that I've sat in studios with people that are creating. There's this literal energy, because it's like anything. birthing ideas, birthing something out of nothing. It's like literally you're in the process of seeing life happen, because this is something that doesn't exist, and somebody is literally writing it out or getting in the booth and saying it, and it's just like there's this I just can't even explain it. It's a magical energy that happens in the studio. So for these two people to be working closely in the studio creating a project that is intimate, um does that mean that his woman needs to be in the studio with them? Does that mean that he needs to do constant check-ins? Does that mean that she needs to make sure she has a good rapport with Dej Loaf? What does that mean? What does that mean for you if your spouse is working closely and intimately with someone? Do you have a problem with that? And is there a difference between setting a boundary and trying to control the situation? I don't know if y'all know, but I had a situation that occurred last month, January. This is actually the anniversary of it. January 1st, probably shortly after midnight, before I went to bed, I wrote about a situation that I had in the grocery store where someone approached me and asked me to walk with them to go get something, and I said no. This sparked an outrage to the point where it went viral. There's more details to it that I'll probably go into in another show. I will go into it in a little bit more detail in another show, another episode. But it went viral, and it sparked the idea for me to create something to let people know how to set boundaries, how to stop people pleasing, and how to say no without guilt. So I created the course, The Power of No. It's really a group coaching cohort, The Power of No, and I'm actually currently working on the book. I'm saying this to say that a lot of people don't know how to set boundaries, and a lot of people do not respect others' boundaries, and a lot of people utilize boundaries as a tactic to enforce control. So in this case, is it Deondra's boundary that she feels like she needs to be in the studio when he works with a female artist? Is it a boundary for her that they don't take a sexy photo together? Like, what is the boundary, and what boundary got crossed? Because if she feels like she wasn't allowed to be in the photo and that was a problem for her, what is the boundary that she set for herself in her relationship with Jacquees? And why was this upsetting or triggering to her? So I will ask you again, is there a difference between setting a boundary and trying to control a situation? And honestly, does it come down to you having your own life, or does it boil in this case, or confidence in your relationship? Because the comment that she made she seems like a reflection of lack of trust in the relationship, and it also seems like a reflection of lack of of her own life, for a better lack of a better term. Because I don't know what Deondra does. I know that her father is Deion Sanders, so I'm pretty sure she had somewhat of a privileged life growing up. I don't know what her career or her brand or anything like that is, so I can't say that. I don't want to assume that she doesn't have one. But the only thing I know her from is being Deion Sanders' daughter and being Jacquees' woman. And if those are her only two roles that she has poured into, and now being a new mother, that would kind of explain too wanting to be involved and included in everything that her man has to do, or with work, with life, or whatever. Somebody in the comments said something like, is she an Aries because they want to be in your skin? I don't know if that has anything to do with anything, but I think when we get into relationships, we often forget about who we are as individuals. We often center our partners, and our world revolves around them. And of course, with her being a new mother, she does want to be close with the mother of her son, I'm sure. She wants to include him in all the special moments. She wants to share the responsibilities. And he seems like a good dad. He seems like he really looked forward to being a father. and is excited about it and loves his son and all of that. So what do y'all think? Do you think that there's a lack of trust in their relationship, or do you think she need to go get her some damn business? So the real lesson here today I want to talk about again is boundaries, communication, and confidence in relationships. So a healthy relationship is built on boundaries that are communicated and not forced. That's what we have to remember, that as a couple, you do have to communicate what it is that is, what are your personal boundaries, what are your personal values, how they align, how the other person feels about it, and agree upon them. And once you make an agreement and somebody crosses those boundaries, then yes, you do have an issue. And you have to decide whether you want to work through them, or you want to, as the relationship therapist on Reasonable Doubt says, if you want to uncouple, meaning you want to break up, you want to go your separate ways. Those are the options. You got to work through it or break up. Those are the options, in my opinion. But a lot of people choose a third option, which is don't make up, stay together, bump heads, have resentment towards each other, play tit for tat, cheat back, get toxic, whatever. But I feel like the best two options are to work through it or keep it moving. Confidence in yourself and your partner. So if the assumption is automatically that there's something going on every time your partner is around someone of the opposite sex, is that based off of the history that they've shown you, or is that based off of your own personal history from past relationships? You really have to sit with yourself and decide, are you carrying those fears and that baggage from past relationships that have nothing to do with this man? Or has he shown you that he will cheat, cross the line, be disrespectful, be untrustworthy? And then you again have to ask yourself, do you want to work through this, or do you want to uncouple? Because if you know you've got a man who can't be trusted, who has a history of cheating, who crosses the line, who can't handle working with women without it turning into something else, is this something that you're willing to accept? Is that something that you're willing to overlook? Is that something that you're willing to constantly have to heal from? If not, you might have to think about uncoupling. You might have to think about how many times you're going to allow your values to be compromised. And then, of course, we got mutual respect, knowing how to work through your insecurities without controlling your partner. A lot of people in these relationships, I call them correctional officers, wardens. You got your person, your partner, in a prison. You are trying to control their every move. I could talk about it because I'm a retired relationship correctional officer. I was in my past relationship. Now, I'm not going to say that it just came out of nowhere. There were reasons, but instead of us working through or uncoupling, I chose that other option to stay with it, and it's animosity, resentment, bitterness, fear, all of the things. We started out when we first moved in together. We lived together. We shared one cell phone. This was before smartphones. We shared a car, and we went to school together. We were in two different classes. I was going for my LPN, and he was in machining. He was getting his machinist certificate. But we were at school at the same time. We drove to school together. You go to your class. One time he came and looked in my classroom, and he had a problem with me sitting next to one of the male students. This male student happened to be my best friend at the time's brother, who also happened to be somebody I went to high school together with, who I went to high school with. He didn't care about none of that. He had a problem with me sitting next to my homeboy. And I told him, and he was very offended. And it was like, at the time, I valued my relationship so much that I told him that it made my boyfriend at the time uncomfortable. But the way he received it, he was so offended that that happened. I felt sad, but I didn't have the words or the skills or the tools to handle that situation then. And he ended up leaving the class. I don't know if that had something to do, like if that contributed to his decision, but it seemed like it never was the same after that. But anyway, sometimes you become so obsessed with these damn relationships that you feel like if you have control over it, you can prevent there from being a problem. So, like I said, we live together, we wake up together, we share the same phone, same car, we in school together. I got all the passwords to your emails, to your social media platforms. I'm checking messages. I'm listening to voicemail. Like, give it a damn break. You're really not doing nothing but hurting yourself and stressing your own self out. And I don't think people realize that that's really miserable. And that's one of my messages to young women. And I know some grown-ass women that's still doing this too. But if you can't trust your partner to the point where you feel like you always have to check their phone and check up behind them and snoop and look, like, is it you or is it him? And again, if either one, there's work that can be done to help both of those situations. So stop with the controlling shit. Like, I have evolved to believe that everybody has autonomy over themselves. Everybody is free. Everybody is their own individual. We come together. We decide that we want to be in this relationship. We decide that we want to do life together. We decide that we want to couple up, and we have respect for each other as individuals, and we have respect towards our relationship. If I can't trust that you respect me and respect our relationship and the boundaries that we've set and the goal that we've set, then maybe we don't need to be together. I'm not about to be stressed out, and I don't want nobody to be stressed out trying to be with me either, because relationships do come with ups and downs, but I think a lot of people make them way harder than they have to be. So again, if you're struggling with setting boundaries, with respecting other people's boundaries, with understanding what boundaries are, with saying no. And I talked about one of my struggles with saying no is rejecting men because safety. But in other aspects, I've learned to say no without guilt, letting go of being a people pleaser. I'm a recovering people pleaser. If that's something that you need support with, you need to join in the power of no. I said I was going to start it January 28th, but I've decided to move it to March. So DM me or let me know by DMing me the power of no, and I will send you information on how you can join. It's going to be a 6-week program, group coaching, where you will be able to heal that need to people please, the need to always say yes to things that don't align with your values. And really, it helps you to set boundaries within your relationships with self and others, romantically, platonically, friendships, at work, in the public, wherever you need to set boundaries at, and wherever you struggle with boundaries, please join in the power of no. DM me or comment if you would like to learn more information about that. So when it comes to Deondra and Jacquees, another thing that I want to point out is that when you center your partner and you don't pour into your own life and hobbies and passions and friendships and relationships with family, sometimes you do start to become obsessed where you feel like you have to always be in your partner's skin. You always got to be with them. You got to be included in everything that they do. And it's great if you have that type of relationship where you both enjoy being together, working together, and traveling together, and spending most of your time together. But you also should not forget that you have your own individuality, that you also have other relationships and friendships to cultivate and pour into, and that you need to prioritize your needs as well, because you don't do that for yourself. You don't pour into yourself. You don't have something that brings you joy and fulfillment. You're not going to have anything to give anybody else. So that's what I would like you to consider and think about as well. That's what we can pull from this situation. And again, this is just based on if she meant what she said in the comment. It might have been a little jokey joke, but we're just going to pull that as a learning lesson. So again, y'all tap in with me. I am a certified life coach. Outside of my certification and the education I received in my program to become a life coach, the tools that I've gained as being educated as a life coach, this is a natural gift that I've had since I was a child. My mother will tell you that I've been giving her advice, and she changes the age every time. She says 6, 5, 3, but I can remember being with my mother and literally holding space and giving her sound advice. This is just a natural gift that I've been blessed with. Holding space for others, seeing your gifts and your talents, and teaching you and showing you ways to utilize and monetize your gifts. I also do content strategy. So you tell me what your dream is. That's why I've coined myself the dream doula. I am I ain't gonna say certified. I am a trained labor doula, but when I say dream doula, I mean helping you birth your ideas or your dream life. So you tell me what it is that you want to do in life, love, or career, and I'm going to help support you on that journey, whether it's holding space for you in a session, whether it's creating a content strategy for you, and I can even support you with creating some of the content. Those are a part of my services. I also have one-on-one coaching available for you if you are healing from heartbreak, if you are healing from a toxic relationship, divorce, overcoming any type of domestic violence or anything like that. I am available for one-on-one coaching. And I also have programs, guided programs or self-paced programs that you can join. Valentine's Day is coming up in 13 days. I always highly suggest my program, 5 Ways in 5 Days. It is a self-love program that teaches you how to incorporate the love languages into your daily acts of self-love and self-care. It also teaches you and shows you where you may have blockages when it comes to giving and receiving love and what the root issue is of that, and teaches you how to uncover that and work through that. That is a great option for you, especially with Valentine's Day coming up, if you are single or if you're not. The other program that I have is called One Single Step at a Time. One Single Step at a Time is a 6-week workshop. It is for healing, self-discovery, and self-love, healing after heartbreak, learning yourself. Who are you? That is the question that a lot of people cannot answer outside of their roles that they play for other people. So it helps you discover who you are. It helps you unpack some of the things that you have been carrying with you through life. And it helps you to understand where you're going and how you want to show up in that season. And then at the end, we get into what you're trying to manifest for your life after you've done the work. And that's guided, and that comes with coaching sessions as well. And then, of course, we have the guided journal. If you're not ready to enter into a full program, if you're not ready to face the facts and get the one-on-one coaching, you can always get a guided journal. It's on my website, oshacerese.com, OSHACERESE.com. All of the services that I'm telling you about are on my website right now. Again, the power of no, you have to DM me about that because I do not have it. Actually, you can, if you're ready to register, you can do that at oshacerese.com/the power of no. But if you just want more information about it, just DM me the power of no. So again, you can get enrolled in a program, one single step at a time. That's 6-week program, 5 days and 5 ways in 5 days. That's the self-love program. And you can have the option of getting a guided journal if you want to just be self-paced and work on yourself on your own. There's always one-on-one coaching available, of course. And for the lovers, the intentional lovers, the hopeful romantics, the people that want 2025, and I'm in this category too. 2025 is going to be our year of finding and aligning with our partners. So not only am I in the running to find the love of my life, and I'm open to receiving that, I also want to share that opportunity with you all as well. So if you have been watching my pages, following me, you'll see that I have been back into the speed dating and matchmaking space. That was actually my initial business when I first started as an entrepreneur in 2012. In 2012, my first endeavor was a partnership. We had a speed dating and matchmaking company. That's how I got into the entrepreneurial journey that I've been on since then. And I kind of put it on the back burner to focus on other things like my youth programs and my vegan cooking and all of that. But I'm back. Last year, I got back into the speed dating and matchmaking space. And if you haven't seen it, you can see little snippets of some of the speed dating that I've posted on my page. You can listen to the interviews that I've conducted with some of the participants, and you can hear how it went. You can check out some of the conversations that I've had with some of the participants on Connections and Conversations, and more episodes of that. More episodes of Connections and Conversations are coming soon. We got some good ones coming up too. And you can just see what's been going on, but I'm back into the speed dating and matchmaking space. So I have something for y'all. I'm getting ready to really turn up with the events. If you're local to Atlanta, I'm really excited about what's to come. It's planning stages right now. I'm working on a lot of things, but join my database. The difference between some of the speed dating events that I was doing last year, they were collaborations. So basically whoever shows up, and everybody gets a date. And some of my intentional daters would like a more personalized experience, and I agree. So I've been listening. I hear you. I feel you. Join my Intentional Love Collective. It is a database, and it's going to be a community, but right now it's a database that I am creating to give people a more curated experience. So it is a survey that you can fill out, DM me, love, or comment love. Actually, comment intentional love if you would like for me to send you this application. It's really a form, a survey. This survey is going to put you in the Intentional Love Collective and allow me to understand who you are a little bit better. That way, when I see someone who matches your desires and the feeling is mutual, you all are matched based on what you like, who you are, where you are in life. And I have a better idea of who you can match with, maybe individually, or when I put together singles mixers, it'll be more curated where these are people that I know have the qualities that each other are looking for. So if 2025 is your year to meet your person, and you done already done your work, or you done already signed up with one of my programs or my coaching, and you're ready to do this work, or you're doing the work, you've done the work, you've healed, and you're open and you're ready to receive this love, and you just need a little bit more support. Maybe you don't get out as much. Maybe you're a little shy. Maybe you're a little rusty because it's been a while. But join the Intentional Love Collective database, where I will be able to curate more one-on-one and group mixers with people that you would actually be interested in. Don't you want to show up to an event and you're like, wow, there's a lot of options here versus this what we got. So make sure you join if you are single and looking, or single and intentional about finding love. Again, this is the Osha Cerese Show. I'm going to be showing up on your YouTube, that is, every day. I'm challenging myself to do this every day for the month of February, and we'll see how it goes. It might be a weekly show or daily show during the week, or I might continue to come and talk to y'all every day. I really enjoy this. I got to get the technical kinks out, which I will do. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for those who stayed and watched live. This is going to be posted shortly on YouTube. Again, if you're on Instagram, this is not a show that's going to always be on Instagram. I'm doing it for the first couple of episodes, maybe the first few, maybe the first week. We'll see. But you got to get over to YouTube and subscribe to my channel, youtube.com/@Osha Cerese, OSHACERESE. Make sure you're subscribed and make sure you tune in. Give me some feedback on what you think of this pilot episode. I love y'all. I'm excited. Let me give you a little assignment before we wrap up. I want you to think about a time when a boundary you set was either respected or crossed. How did it make you feel? And what would you do differently today? And if you decide to do this journal prompt, I would love for you to come back and join me tomorrow and let me know what came up for you. Again, I thank you for joining in for this midday reset, the Osha Cerese Show, daily show. Thank you so much, AO7 Dad. Shout out to you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you, and thank you for the compliment. I hope you enjoyed the show. DM me the power of no if you need help with boundary setting. DM me or comment under these posts when they are posted. Intentional love, so I can send you the form to complete. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Again, happy Friday, happy February, happy Black History Month. Happy birthday to my best friend TJ once again. Happy birthday to my favorite client. She knows who she is. And I will talk to y'all later. Thank you, thank you, thank you.